In this video, I'm going to show you what HTML margins are, how to use them, when to use them, how to do it all properly, and we're getting started right now. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. It's Bjorn from Higher Learning Lab, where we help you code better so you can earn more for yourself, for your clients, and for your business. If you haven't done so yet, hit subscribe, then hit the bell notification icon so you're notified when I publish more tutorials for you. With that out of the way, let's get into HTML margins. I'll see you over in the screen capture. CSS and HTML, they kind of work hand in hand. So a lot of people call them HTML margins when they're actually CSS margins that are applied to HTML elements. And we can do this in two ways. We can do it in a CSS style sheet or in the head section of the website, or we can do it via inline CSS, and I'm going to show you both ways right now. On the screen, on the left-hand side, we have HTML code for a very basic page. On the right-hand side, we have a browser that shows us what that code renders to. It's just three boxes and a title. So we want to apply some margin to the right side of the red box to add some spacing between the red and the green. Now first, we're going to do it inline, and we just go into the right div. The div of ID box 1 is the red box. So I'm going to type in the tag style equals open and close quotes. I'm going to type in margin right, and then we add a number of pixels. So I'm just going to add 15, or type in 15 pixels, save that file, refresh this page, and we see we have 15 pixels of white space now between the red and the green boxes. And that's all it takes to add margin. Now, depending on where your elements are, you might want to add different margins. You can have a margin top. So then if we save that, we see our box goes down 15 pixels. We can have a margin bottom, which in this case will not show us very much. What it actually did was it add 15 pixel margin at the bottom. So if something was below the red box, you'd see a margin there. We can do margin left. And if we watch closely, this space between the very left edge of the browser and the red box will increase by 15 pixels. So those are the options we have for margin. We have margin top, margin right, margin bottom, and margin left. We also have the margin shorthand, which is just margin. But then you have to add certain values. If we have margin colon 15, and we save that, it's going to add 15 pixels of space on all sides. So I added 15 on the top, 15 on the right, on the bottom, and on the left. If we add in two numbers, so we have 15 and 5, this is going to apply 15 pixels to the top and the bottom, and it's going to add 5 pixels to the left and the right. And there we go, we saw that the space reduced on the left and the right, and top and bottom stayed the same. Now if we add another number, let's add 25, this is going to add 15 pixels, or it's going to keep 15 pixels on the top, it's going to keep 5 pixels on the left and the right, and it's going to add 25 pixels to the bottom. We can't actually see the bottom because there's nothing below it, so you have to take my word for it, but that's what it does. That 25 is now applied to the bottom of this element. If we add another number, let's do 40 pixels. This is going to, the first one is going to add 15 pixels to the top, second one 15 pixels to the right, third one 15 pixels to the bottom, or 25 pixels to the bottom, fourth one 40 pixels to the left. And we saw that the box jumped over to the left by 40 pixels. So the way you can remember that is an easy acronym, TRBL, which is all the consonants of the word trouble. So just remember the word trouble, and remember the order of the consonants, and that is the order that when you have the shorthand, you have 4 numbers in it, that is the order that they're applied. T for top, R for right, B for bottom, L for left. And that's the order they're applied when you have all 4 in the shorthand code. Now that we've gone over how to do this CSS inline, I have to tell you that it's not the best way to do it. It's actually the worst way to do it. What you want to do is have your CSS completely separate from your HTML, meaning it's either in a style block, like up here, or it's in a style sheet. And the reason you want to do that is because it's easier to maintain your CSS if you have a large website. If you have all your CSS in one spot, it will be much, much easier to maintain. So how do we move it out of the inline into the CSS? What we do we just take this, what's in between the quotes, we cut that, we delete the style attribute, and we have an ID of box 1. That's, we were working on the red box. And up here I already have a selector for box 1 and a declaration block, and we add in, or just paste in, the CSS that we wrote. So now when I save this, nothing will change. As you see, nothing changed. That's because having this in this selector declaration block means the exact same thing as having it inline, but now you have it all in one spot. Another reason you want to do this, let's say you wanted to add the same margins to every single box you have, or to multiple different elements. So we'd have to go for each one, style equals margin that. So for each, if we do it inline, for each one we have to do it like that, which is fine. But let's say you have 100 of these. It quickly begins to not be fine. And the much easier way, I'm just going to undo all that I just did. If we put the code, up here we have a selector that selects all 3 of the boxes at once. We put that margin code in there. We can delete it from box 1, save the page, refresh, and nothing will change. Because doing it this way also applies that same code to all of the different elements. So you could have whatever elements you want in the selector, and there'll be the same margins will be applied to all of them. Now if you want to go back and change this 5 to a 15, all you have to do is add one character and save it. Whereas if you had that in the way you had before, inline, we'd have to add that one character to every single one. And if you had 100 of them, you get tired of that really, really quickly. So we're going to save that. We add that 15. All it did was it shifted all of them, but we only noticed on this one. So that's how we do margins with HTML and CSS. It takes a little bit of practice, especially learning which order they go in when you use this shorthand format. But just remember the word trouble, and remember the consonants in that word and the order they appear in. And then you should have a much easier time mastering the correct order of the shorthand margins. And that's all there is to HTML margins. I hope this video helps you. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below the video. If you haven't done so yet, hit subscribe, then hit the bell notification icon so you're notified when I publish more tutorials for you. And next up is clicking one of these videos that popped up on the right-hand side so you can learn more about coding and get stronger, better, faster, more wicked at it. And until next time, keep crushing it, and I will see you in the next video.